this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day.
And a very special day it is. It is a terrific Wednesday. That means my partner in crime, my co-host this morning from Walmart, is Bradley Gilbert. Good morning, Bradley.
Good morning, Becky.
Happy snow day.
Happy Snowy Hump Day. Yeah.
Snowy Hump Day.
Yeah. Snump Day.
Do the snow hump day.
Yeah.
Do the hump snow day dance, right?
Right.
Hey,
Right.
I think walking in was a little bit of a dance that I did.
Well,
Got some ice.
Yeah, it's but that's fun. That's fun.
Well, it's fun when you don't hit, you know what I mean? And
that's true. That's
I had wonderful skills that I didn't fall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
It's
just,
good for your reflexes
There
to
you
keep
go.
them agile
Ninja.
and strong. Yeah,
My ninja.
Yeah.
Ninja warrior.
I just embrace the slide. It's like, woo, you know.
What is it? Grasshopper?
Yeah.
Do the- I don't know.
Yeah.
I felt like I was doing some pretzel. You know what I mean? Oh, you're looking for the sponsors.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yes, let's thank them, Bradley. Go right ahead as I'm telling you about my moves this morning.
I know, I panicked for a moment, but that
Yeah.
was a ninja move to grab
I
those.
saw that.
Let's get the sponsors. Sorry, real quick. Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Rose's, Fox Jubilee Wealth Management, Dr. Blackside Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Marshall Monuments, and McAllister Land Consulting. Real quick, the disclaimer is Becky is not sick. She's just got that
Love you so much.
where
Absolutely.
you lose your voice and
Yes.
all that kind of
Right.
stuff. So
Well-
not contagious, not sick, just
See, silly vocal cords.
vocally challenged.
Vocally challenged, yeah. And, you know, there's a point, you know, in radio, sometimes in broadcasting, a little bit of voice, you know, sounds good. But I'm past that point.
Yeah.
My needle has
Yeah.
gone over the point where it doesn't sound good, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I promise.
Went from sultry to salty.
Yeah. Yeah, I passed sultry yesterday. Now I'm into salty, yeah.
Yeah.
So I apologize, but I'm not sick. It is just these little vocal cords are giving me some grief this morning. Maybe I've talked too much, you know.
But the show will go on.
Does it ever? Bradley, I do want to say some statements. Our Washington County Health Department, they do have flu shots, and they're free.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a blessing. So
That is a blessing.
if you are, and it's still not too late.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people worry, you know, because it seems like there's a timeline of when to get a shoe shot.
Everybody was kung flu fighting.
This is going to be a fun morning.
It is.
I swear that was supposed
here
to be
for
an
the
F. There's going to be some F's thrown this morning, but instead it comes out an S. It's supposed to be, you get a little timeline about a flu shot,
Yeah.
but anyway, but the nurses there, they said that it's still okay to get one, and if you're in need of one, they do offer them for free.
Yeah, absolutely. And so absolutely take advantage of that.
Absolutely.
And especially if you've got, you know, these days, you know, you've got so many people, little kids around all the time. You've got older family members and stuff like that. You just want to make sure that.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I whatever side of any of these arguments you're on, anything you can do to lessen the effects is a blessing.
Right. I've heard people say, I don't get flu shot, but I've heard people say that they did get the flu, but it was a lot less symptoms,
Yes.
whereas it would have
Yeah.
been. So,
Yeah.
so there's nothing wrong with that. And the flu shot's been around for years.
Yes.
So I feel like it's pretty tried and trusted, you know. And just like also going back to that right now with the cold and flu seasons and stuff. And I was at Walmart yesterday, and you know, and you've got a lot of over-the-counter stuff. You know what I mean, for throat relief and stuff,
Yeah.
and teas, you know, for your throats. But also, it's good to talk to your pharmacist. You got some of the best over there, and ask their opinions.
Yeah.
They're really good
They are.
about that, and also they're really good too. If you have to use like the Good RX, they're really
Yes.
good about helping people look that up.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I love that they really strive to find the best prices.
Yeah, and that's important, and I am glad that you mentioned that, because the team over there is just an amazing team, and so they just patient care is number one, and I am happy that and they need to get that recognition a little bit in that they are doing everything they can to save our customers money. That maybe you don't have insurance, maybe you have different things going on, but the Good RX is, it's depending on your medication. It's absolutely, I think that's part of us offering total good care to our pharmacy patients.
Well, and it's worth trying.
Yeah.
So if it can save you some money, and I love that so much, and they're very good about that. So
yeah, and I know I have a couple of friends that even with their health care, their insurance through their employer, it's still cheaper to go through Good RX.
Yeah.
And they did not realize that until one of our pharmacists said, hey, let's see if we can do something for this.
I saw them doing that. I saw them helping someone look it up.
Yeah.
I thought that was very kind.
Yeah.
I like kindness.
Oh, absolutely.
I like that.
Throw it around like confetti.
And they're local pharmacists.
Yeah.
And they care about this community. They see you at the grocery store.
Yeah.
They see you and they care about you. I love that. So a little bit of a plug on that.
That's good. Yeah. That is good. Great team over there.
Yeah. All right, we're on to the 19th day of February. Isn't that crazy?
Doesn't seem possible.
I know. Today is International Tug of War Day.
Well,
I love a good game of tug of war.
Yeah, and so out in the snow would be even better.
I know.
Yeah.
How about if you had a big puddle of water? Not deep.
Yeah.
But a little bit.
You'd get the tug of war, polar plunge all at the same time for one of the teams. That would.
And you want somebody when you're picking your team. If you are made the captain, okay. So
there's a method to choosing your tug of war team.
Science.
Absolutely.
You want that.
You got to do some
anchor.
Mathing
You want that anchor. I'm telling you right now, an anchor person that takes the rope, wraps it around their waist.
Yeah. And then you hear Bob Seger singing like a rock in the background. No, absolutely, and I'm not joking about that. I'm 100% absolutely.
I know. I'm telling you.
It's just like
I think there's skills we have, Brad.
Yeah, and
I think it's supposed to be shared with the world.
Just the biggest person.
No.
It's the stoutest person.
Yes, and the person that can get their feet like a goat. And take their goat feet and put them in the ground.
And angle toward the other team, put them in the ground, and lean back and not move.
I'm telling you right now, you cannot beat that anchor person.
Because they say, as that anchor person goes, so goes the rest of the team. So
like a rock.
Yeah, exactly. So,
oh, God, and you brought Bob Seger into it.
Yeah.
Could it not be a banner day?
Oh.
Oh, my gosh, why are we not doing this?
You can come up with Bob Seger on a Wednesday.
Don't even.
And he's not plugging us or anything to say this.
Well, and we would love for him too.
Yeah,
Bob, if you want to.
Call me. I'm totally
anytime.
Yeah. But I mean, when you get, but doesn't that describe what you want your anchor to be?
I know, exactly. Yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, we're professionals.
I know. We have the weirdest skills that are not used anywhere else in the real life.
Now, you know me, I would choose an old-time refurbished tractor to be the
look at you. Oh my gosh.
Tug of war team.
I love
Going the opposite direction.
And here's the thing, you would know the tractor to pick.
Yes. Oh.
I would pick something that would, I love to go to tractor pools. You go to tractor pools and they're just giving it the best, you can hear it just grinding and the tractor goes straight up. Yeah. It's like Snoopy's nose. Snoopy goes straight up in the air, and it's like you love them. It's like, no, you want the tractor that's going to be grounded.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What kind of tractor would that be, Bradley?
Well, it depends on how you modify it, really.
What would be right off the top of your head?
I'm always an international harvester.
I knew it.
I'm old school that way. The
favorite
square
child.
front.
That is your favorite child.
That is.
You would have picked that one. I knew.
I love all of the others.
I know. You can't pick a favorite child, but that one you can pick a favorite tractor.
Yeah. So I love them all equally.
That is your solid. You always go to that one.
That's my go-to.
If I told you,
know that.
What would you decorate a yard with? An international harvester.
Absolutely.
What would you drive to the store to get your groceries? An international harvester.
I mean, there's songs about that.
I know.
In my international harvester.
I know.
I'm just saying.
I know.
But yeah, so
but
it is funny because we do have skills that people are just like, but at the same time they're like, I kind of wish I had that.
I know, it's kind of weird though because our mind, it's like, what are we thinking about on this stuff? It's just tug of war day, and we've gone further. It's like, oh my
I
gosh.
hope our.
But this is where my mind runs.
Yeah, I know.
This is just.
At this point, our guardian angels and our producer, who's listening probably, has got
Get
their
off
hand
of
on
it.
their heads. Like,
Fine,
stop.
get off. Stop.
Move on.
Stop. Move on. If we actually like had cue cards.
What's that?
I know. Teleprompter. That's why I do not.
Oh,
I actually was a guest on another station, and they gave me a teleprompter. I was like, I do not work on teleprompter.
hold on. Yeah.
No, I do
No.
not. Sorry, I'm not that person.
Yeah.
Okay. International Tug of War Day. All right. This is also National Arabian Horse Day. I love Arabian horses,
Beautiful.
which is actually part of the Morgan horse, which is my favorite. Every time you're going to pick that tractor, I'm going to pick that Morgan horse.
There you go.
Love a Morgan
There you go.
horse.
Yeah.
You're gonna win anything.
Yeah.
Morgan horse. If I'm gonna go to the grocery store, I'm gonna go on a Morgan horse. If I'm gonna play tug of war, I'd grab my Morgan horse.
See, there you
Because
go.
Justin Morgan had a horse. So did Becky White. Right?
Okay, there you go.
We need the cold medicine. Even though I don't have a cold. I'm not sick.
And trivia
Talk
day
amongst
on
yourselves.
Coffee Club.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Talk amongst yourselves. Okay.
All right.
So, I think a lot of people understand the "talk amongst yourselves"
I think-
reference, absolutely. But she's
Did you
got
watch it the other
perfect
night?
voice.
Did you
Yes.
watch it? Okay, the one that killed it, every time, Eddie Murphy.
Oh,
Eddie Murphy was on point. I just, when he talked about, when he did Tracy Lawrence, the 4 cheeses.
yeah.
I've been saying that throughout the house. Becky White does not eat nothing but 4 cheeses.
I think that.
Come on.
So,
I can't see how Tracy Lawrence didn't just, I'd be on the ground.
So-
I would have been.
when you think about Eddie Murphy,
Eddie Murphy.
inappropriate,
And
yes.
that's our area.
That's yes.
That is right
yes.
there. That is so-
That's the we're
Don't tell me you guys in
Yeah,
our class.
so-
You guys had that down. I
so
can
many
name
people are
names.
just like, well, that's really not that funny. It's just like I worry about you.
Oh,
Anybody that
it's the funniest stuff.
would
It's
not have thought
just,
that was funny. Just I don't understand. I just
I
don't
think-
understand. I think people have too many rules for humor, and what I mean is you
Oh.
don't want the like vulgar,
no,
inappropriate, all that kind of stuff.
no.
But
You don't
just,
have
like,
to have
just letting
just
somebody
natural
just,
stuff.
like,
Natural.
just
I mean,
yeah. When it doesn't have to be written for you, it's just in your head.
Oh,
It's
you know,
like,
you go off script and just go. I would just be on the ground. It would take me. I can't even imagine. I would love to be a fly on the wall. I'd
Yeah.
probably be awful.
So, which I'm not a comedian and I'm not a professional, but
we are funny people.
we are funny
We
people.
are funny people.
So there's been times that I have a coworker that we go to these meetings, and you've been around these official,
Oh,
we got to be all buttoned up,
know.
meetings and stuff.
yes.
But we both have this thing that we try to sneak in something that is kind of funny that is not expected,
Yeah.
and we try to see if we can crack the other one up, and it's really not for the other people, so to speak, other than they go, oh, but
It's for us.
it is for us.
We're
But
doing it for us.
I did have a regional person that did come up to me after a meeting and said, I love when you're on the panel or when you're speaking or whatever at these Walmart meetings, because
Aw.
I noticed that I always wait for I'm going to sneak something a little bit humorous in.
I love that.
And I'm just
Oh, what a
like,
huge compliment, Brad.
Oh, you noticed
That's
that. And I was like, I just worry that, some people might not think that, they're like, no, that's what keeps these meetings fun. And,
Absolutely.
so I said, well, I told the story to be transparent about Stacy is my friend, that we try to do that. And it's
Yeah.
just like, but the best thing was, and I probably shouldn't say this, but it's not a bragging thing, but it was funny to have someone say, well, you're a little funnier than Stacy is. So it's just
I
like,
know that's a huge compliment. I
Oh,
tell that
you
absolutely.
just told me I'm skinny and look 25 years old. Thank you very much.
Instead of having my
Better than any compliment I can
here's what well, that's what I'm saying. Instead of Valentine's Day, Greg looked at me and said, "You're funny." He didn't have to say you're beautiful. He said you're funny. You know what I mean? That's the biggest compliment,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's what. But going back to that, the Saturday Night Live reunion, okay, which I was like over the moon about it, okay, but I do think that it was kind of hard a little bit for some of them to get the vibe. You know what I mean? I think some of them, I saw a little struggle with some of them.
I think some of it is, and regardless of your political persuasion, I think one thing, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I'm not a professional critic about this stuff, but I think that the newer stuff or some of the things that have happened even in the last 15 years, I think when you start introducing too much political stuff into humor, to me personally, it's not as funny.
I agree.
Because even if it's like a political view that I agree with, humor, you can poke fun at stuff, but when you use it as kind of a humor as a weapon is not a good thing to me. That's my personal opinion.
No, I agree.
So I think sometimes when you've got the vibe of the ones that were come before, and you got the Eddie Murphys and you know,
Eddie Murphy just,
and Dan Aykroyd was and Chevy Chase.
Get out. They were just hilarious.
I just think, you know, like, and then you try to, and I think I think you hit it well. It's just the vibe thing is different, and that doesn't, which you got to celebrate 50 years of things changing and everything, but at the same time, humor is humor, and natural humor is way better than anything that's written and scripted by somebody else. Because these people would come up with, I mean, Eddie Murphy was known. He was just like Robin Williams as an actor. Known just not to stay on script. I don't need a script. I don't need to just go, you know.
Just do your thing.
Here's the gist of what we want. And I think that stuff is funny. And just like Chevy Chase when he's like, you know, Weekend Update. Hello, I'm Chevy Chase and you're not. You know, things like that. It's just like, and he just did that to crack up Jane Curtin, and they left
would
it.
you
They're
not?
like, do it.
Absolutely.
You know? And so.
Well, and they said that, like, there was an interviewing, there was somebody going to interview, which I love, Jerry Seinfeld. Seinfeld, and one of the person, I don't know why you would ever do this if you were a journalist, just made a comment, or I really don't think he was a real journalist, but made a reference of a political, and he was like, I don't care. You know what I mean? And they don't. You know what I mean? The funny parts of it is, you know, stay to the humor, stay to the funny stuff. But I think you're totally right. Well, and we talked about this, it's been a little while ago. Humor's different this day. Now everything's shock. It's like, you know, like in 1 minute you have like several shock stuff. Back then they would just do it. You know what I mean? It was more of a rhythm. And this is like throw out shock. Yeah.
And that's because of the information we are saturated with compared to back then.
Yeah.
You didn't have all of that stuff, and you just had. And I think I do think it's interesting that what you were just talking about is there was a different cadence to humor.
Absolutely.
And even with them going off script, there was still a cadence.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Right. Well, I enjoyed it. Yeah. And I love every bit of it. It was funny, and I could not go to sleep. I mean, like, I kept thinking, okay, if I fall asleep, I fall asleep. I always try to give myself grace. Okay, if you don't make it, you don't make it. I couldn't stop. Yeah. Couldn't stop watching.
Yeah.
It was really good.
And just good. One of our 5 listeners just messaged in and said, I love Becky's voice today.
So
it's a hit.
Hey.
Sultry Coffee Club.
I will stop taking my cough drops. No more tea for me. I'm gonna keep this. Remember, what was it? There was a comedy where they had this, and then whenever they lost it, everybody wanted it back, and they were like,
what was that?
I don't remember. It was something, but yeah. But I appreciate
that.
One thing
too, though, chicken broth, hot chicken broth instead of tea.
I know.
Best thing ever.
Anyway, I have been doing chicken soup, so you just go back to your to your roots, chicken broth, good.
But I think that there were some hits for sure on the celebration, but there were some misses. But by far, just the if you think about the talented, just raw, talented, humorous people that have come through there, it's just like, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And back in the day, for the first, 20 years, they had 3 writers plus those comedians that were doing it. Now they've got a team of writers. But, I mean, I would love to have one time just been behind the scenes when they were, like, practicing.
Oh, at the table. Like whenever at
John
the table.
Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, all of those.
They show them, like, at this huge table. It's like a conference table. And they start looking at their stuff. If I could have, that's exactly, if I had a time machine, I'd jump right in there, and you're totally right, all of them, and just hear what all they had to say. But, I think also they can't say everything they used to say.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I
Oh,
think,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I think things are
Yeah.
a little different on things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's
because
That's true.
this day and age, some of the things that they said
Would
not-
not.
would not fly.
Yes. Yes.
It-
And I think in a lot of ways that's good. But in some ways that can be bad because people sometimes they take themselves too seriously
Ooh.
or take situations
Yeah,
too seriously.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I've been accused of that.
Well, you are the HR guy. That's why we're besties, because I can come in and tell you.
Come in like a wrecking ball.
I do. Oh, Brad.
I did. It's funny. I did have someone asking me something yesterday, and I did my. Okay, do you want HR Brad to answer this question, or do you want Brad to answer this question? And of course, they chose HR Brad because they were afraid what non-HR Brad
What
would say.
non-HR Brad would say.
Which,
Yeah, you should be afraid. You should be
yes,
very afraid.
Be
for sure.
very afraid.
Right,
yeah,
right,
so,
right.
But anyway, but yeah,
All right, so I don't know how we.
that rabbit hole, but that's okay.
I know.
That's a good rabbit hole.
That is a good one, because I hadn't talked about that, and that was
Yeah.
fun. National Boston Terrier Day. I know a lot of people that has Boston Terriers.
Yeah.
They got this like
Yeah.
face.
I feel like they're high maintenance dogs. You know, get the haircut always the same.
Boston Terriers do not get haircuts. Bradley Gilbert.
Oh, I'm thinking about what's that little
What,
terrier?
you're thinking of a
that has
terrier with the
beard,
mustache, the one that's got the beard and the
one with
mustache.
beard and the mustache. What terrier is that? I apologize, Boston Terrier.
You're 6 months old and you have a beard.
I am so
That's-
sorry.
You're thinking like of a Westie or a, what is it? There are terriers like that, maybe.
Yeah, there's something. Whatever. Okay.
This is the Boston
it-
Terrier.
A Yorkie? No, but it's bigger. It's taller. Okay, so I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No,
there
Boston Terrier. I'm
Weston
with you.
Terrier,
There.
West-
I'm
Yeah. This is why we've never got the dog show bit.
I know.
I've put in for it that you and I need to do the announcement.
We totally do it.
We want to say the
Totally.
B-I-T-C-H word so
Look
bad.
at this. With a straight face. They say it with the. Okay, so the rabbit hole about Boston Terriers.
We would have to
But
be.
that's the rabbit hole that we always go down with.
I want to say that so bad.
We do it, they say it
What
so
a beautiful
calmly.
B-I-T-C-H
Like, I know.
that is.
We don't get the Kennel
I know.
Club show or a golf
The golf
tournament.
people
I
will
mean,
not.
We
I
could
know.
do it. I'm telling you.
I know.
Well-
With the Macy's Day Parade, I put in for that.
That lineage
We can't
goes
see
back to-
these gigs. The gigs we have for sure are the 4th of July.
This is a 5th generation blue heeler, B-I-D-C-H. Look at that specimen. I mean, see, we can do it.
Look at how that B-T-I-C-H wears her tail. Look at her hold her tail up.
Look at her stature.
I want that gig
And that's
so
a
bad.
pose.
That is a gig. The life goals, I'm telling you. Why we have not got
We-
that. They've got to. And the golf is because we're too loud.
And that's offensive.
Our
to me,
volume
'cause
control, we cannot get our volume control. We keep
I feel
working.
like if they gave
We
us one
practice,
shot,
we
they would be
practice.
like,
I'm sorry.
where have you been?
One and done. At least give us one. You know what I mean?
I know.
All right, this is also National Chocolate Mint Day.
Oh,
Peppermint patty with like, ooh, like in your breath. You can just see it. I just saw you when you did that. I saw your breath.
Mm.
That's how cold the studio is.
Mm.
We're on a budget.
Bereaved on a budget. So,
I freeze and I'm starving out here all the time.
so York peppermint patties are like amazing.
They are, especially
You
cold.
freeze them and then
Oh.
chop them up and put them on mint chocolate chip ice cream. But you know, I like the white mint chocolate.
That's what it
chip
shows
ice
here,
cream.
Brad.
Yeah,
They've got it going on.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Put it in the freezer. Ooh,
Oh.
so good.
Mm.
With a hot
Stick with
cup
us.
of coffee.
Stick
Yeah.
with us.
We know recipes.
Yeah.
Ooh, National Lash Day, Brad. Do you notice my lashes?
Yes. Do you notice mine? They're non-existent.
Big deal. Lash
Yeah.
Day is a big deal.
So,
I sneezed so hard the other day. I kept sneezing and blowing my nose. My lash was up in the eyebrow. Greg said, "What's going on?"
something's not right here. Wait, what's going on? But see, the problem is, at least, like, with all the glue and everything, at least they still stick to your face somewhere, so you don't have to worry about losing them, right?
It's hanging off.
But I remember,
What do you?
I remember
Don't you dare
the
tell a
first
story
time
on
I
me.
witnessed a
Mine?
lash, a lash episode that was not planned. And it was, oddly enough, at a meeting where that place that I work at, and
Told you never to talk of
and
this
there was
story.
like all of a sudden people like staring,
Something's not
and
right. Something's
there was all of these wonderful young ladies, and there was two guys standing there, and it took one of the guys to say,
Oh, you men are brutal.
"You might want to check it out." That
You-
one lash,
You guys
is,
are brutal.
that
You're
one
brutal.
lash is suddenly in the middle of your forehead. I don't think that's what you're going for. But or it could have been like this though. Hey, Cyclops, I left that eyelash on the middle of your forehead. You know, I mean.
So I was in the Bahamas.
But why do y'all do that to us?
Why are you so brutal about it? Quit being so brutal. Whisper in the ear, hey. Might need.
I don't have a. We talked about volume control.
That is true. So I was in the Bahamas, enjoying the water. You know, doing my little flutters. You know, I always think I'm like, what is the water? What's the water?
Synchronized
swimming.
Esther Williams.
That is me. I feel that way.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
all of a sudden, this beautiful, beautiful woman. She's got beautiful gold jewelry, her hair done, lashes just gorgeous. Comes in, and for whatever reason, the wave hits her,
It's called Mother Nature.
and it hits again, and her lashes. And she's screaming, "My lashes, my lashes!"
She's not worried about the jewelry.
No,
That's insured.
It's
My
the
lash.
lashes. And I
No.
was just I was like, oh my goodness. I felt so sorry. I felt so sorry. And she was just beautifully,
Yeah.
such a vision. And it was all taken away with the waves of control. The
I
waves.
mean, you got to be careful because
I'm
there's
telling
people
you.
that glue their eyes shut with that
Oh,
stuff.
I know. It's real.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
Okay. National Vet Girls Rise Day. I love all you veteran women. Hats
Well,
off to you, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know,
Was it Sergeant? What was the movie? You know, Goldie Hawn, Sergeant Benjamin,
Private Benjamin.
Private Benjamin, Sergeant.
I thought you were going to talk about G.I. Jane with Demi Moore.
Get out!
Yeah.
Stop
Who-
the microphone, right?
what
Yeah.
she went through to get ready for that, and that's
I
just
love
with their
that.
normal fitness stuff.
I'm not saying I mean this respectfully, in the most respect, but I would love to go through their workout. I'd love
Yeah.
to see. In my head, I think I could do some,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe years ago. But I don't think I could. I don't know that I could
It's
now.
just amazing. Just like
I know.
you know,
Drop
Tulsi,
and do
Tulsi
me.
Gabbard, Lieutenant Colonel.
I know.
Tulsi Gabbard, and I saw some things that was she was showing shooting and the where you run and you evade people and then you
Oh.
shoot and then you do the obstacle course thing, and you know she's just one of so many women that do that well. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
Hey, they can protect this country any day of the week.
Like when you go to like a trampoline park, and you're walking.
That's not a segue, but yeah, you feel like that.
No,
Right?
you feel like that.
You feel
I
like
feel like that. I feel like I do feel a little bit ninja, kind of
Okay.
like the you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
No?
No.
No? And you jump in those, you take a big land and you jump on that rope.
I've seen
And you-
videos of that.
No,
I've
I've
never
done
been
it.
to a trampoline park.
Oh.
So there you go.
Why
I've
are
never.
we gotta do that?
I-
Why are we not doing that? You know, I've got my knees are healed now.
Yeah.
Got ran over in 2024, 2025.
That was not on anybody's bingo card.
No,
I
25. I'm a new
still-
woman.
I-
Fighting.
I still have someone that every once in a while will revisit the conversation and said, well, then she said, what really hurt was when the second set of tires ran over me.
It hurt so bad.
You said it with a straight face,
It was
though.
so bad.
And
It was
anyway,
true.
no. So
Anyway,
I'm
we're
down.
going.
I'm down.
You and I
I'm
are
down.
going.
I'm down.
We're going.
We should make a video and
Yeah, you get
we
this
should do a
rope.
live.
And you get to like rope into this, and it's like a big thing of, they're like triangles or different
Yeah.
shapes of this
See,
foam.
I feel like that.
No, it's like
You know,
great.
swimming for so many years and being a lifeguard and loving to
Absolutely. No, I'm
go off
telling
the
you, yeah.
diving board. I feel like I could do a beautiful swan dive
Well,
still at
let's
this
go
point.
back.
you know.
Let's go back to our childhood and being a guard. We had the deep well,
Oh,
and that we had the huge ladder that we had to climb,
yeah.
go up off the deep end, go off the deep board, the board.
high dive
The
was
high
the
dive.
best. Yeah.
And we did that.
Yeah.
And we didn't think anything of it.
Yeah. Yeah, we did not. And I shouldn't be.
I didn't stop.
I shouldn't be telling
dove.
this, but I worked at Delaney Park for so many years, the
Oh.
lake. I would jump from the guard chair
Absolutely.
to the diving board,
Absolutely.
and then do a 1.5 that Dad Mullins taught
I was
us
going to
how
say,
to do.
I know.
Into the water and not think a thing about it.
Dan Mullins taught me how to do a
Yeah.
backflip.
Oh.
And I tell you right now, I mean, I was forever grateful. I mean, that was the best, that was the funnest thing.
Yeah.
Learning, you know what I mean? And to have that confidence.
So I feel like I
Yeah.
could translate that.
Absolutely.
We could
At
do
least
that.
in our head.
I feel
Yeah.
like we still got
But
it.
the thing is, though, when you do all this stuff, I just want to say at a trampoline park, nobody's clapping. Nobody cares. They're doing the same. You're not going to get any
But
kind
at
of
the same time, it's a personal victory.
personal victory. That's exactly right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. So those are some holidays, Bradley. So get out and enjoy.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
Get out and enjoy.
Make this snowy, cold day the best snowy, cold day ever.
All right. Speaking of that, we've had about an inch.
Mhm.
Okay. It's still lightly snowing. I want to remind people, we had so many wrecks yesterday. My heart was heavy. We had some really severe things happen yesterday in our community. We had some deaths.
Mhm.
We had some bad wrecks. We had some bad, sliding off into the ditches. It was a very, very busy day.
Yeah.
A sad day.
Yeah.
And I pray that today's a little different.
Yeah.
Sirens were going. It was flooded. I know dispatch had a lot going on. And I know that our sheriff, Britt Miller, called him, just keeping us in the know and reminding people if you don't have to get out, don't.
Right.
And there's some slick spots.
And hats off to all the police officers, first responders, everybody that keeps us going and that responds to all this and but I feel like, which again, I'm not a meteorologist. I feel like I could be, but I just play one on the radio on Wednesdays. But I feel like today's snow is different from yesterday's snow.
Mhm.
And what I mean by that is I think it's that drier, powdery, not as icy, stick to stuff type snow, like vehicles and stuff. Because I did this morning, before I started the truck and made sure it was warm, and I went out it was underneath the carport, so it didn't get a lot of snow or blowing in and stuff like that. However, when I got one of those long, scrapers that has the broom on one end,
Mhm.
the bristles on one end. When I went to knock the snow off the windshield, it was like there was a little bit, not a lot, but it just like dusted off
Right.
really quickly.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
and there really wasn't that layer of ice underneath
Right.
it. So, even though it got cold last night and it snowed, today I feel like, because yesterday I felt like there was more ice to clear
Mhm.
off vehicles and stuff like that. So I don't know. I hope that translates to, because driving down the road, they'd been working on roads, or
Sure.
some that hadn't been worked on in a while. And that's another thing. Just hats off to the people,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
in town and in the county, we've got a lot of roads for them
Absolutely.
to get to. So just be patient and understand that. But I felt like just driving down the road, it was blowing, as you're driving across it, and kind of
Mhm.
almost clearing the road a little bit too.
Sure.
So again, I'm not a professional, but I hope that will translate to not as many accidents and issues
Yeah.
today. So I hope.
Well, and then the blessing yesterday. Well, okay, the blessing was we did get some sun, and that sun did a little bit of work. On
With the
some
salt,
of this.
it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do want to remind everybody there's still slick spots, and I really, I think as a community we all care about each other so much, and I felt like yesterday was a heavy day, as far as things, So our condolences and the families and our community we want to send out, and our thoughts and prayers for everybody, and of course our emergency. We did have there were so many things canceled last night. The fair board meeting was canceled. They rescheduled it. There were other cancellations, but we did have I did have a meeting with emergency management, and they talked about how just the things going on in our with the roads and stuff. And the city, county, and state, are all doing fantastic. But there's so many roads. And I was actually talking to another person in a total different county, different community, and they said something negative about their roads. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm sure that they're working on it. It's just, you just got a lot too. I think people forget that. And it's always, I want to give our road crew praises because they are, and it's 2 or 3, 4 or 5 in the morning when these guys and gals are out. And dispatches, they're doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, they are, and I agree with that. And that is, and I am glad that you revisited that aspect of things, because people don't realize, in southern Indiana, most of the southern Indiana counties are rural communities.
Yes.
They're rural counties. So there's a lot of county roads. There's not a lot of cities and towns and things like that. And so Monday, I was talking to someone who comes to work from another county. And I think, we hear the negative and all the kind of stuff, but I was very proud to hear this person, and they weren't saying it, that I was just in the fringe of the conversation, but she was saying that, on the way to work, based on what we got over the weekend and everything, but coming in on Monday, that she could tell when she got into Washington County because the roads were so much better, and you could tell that they had been out working on them, and that made me proud. But also, too, is she lives in a rural county that she's not close to the largest city, so they were obviously probably working their way out from that, even the county people, and there's patterns to go. So, but I did ask on Tuesday if by the time she went home, if there was a noticeable difference, and her county had caught up. So that's very important. That hats off to those in Washington County who are doing such a fantastic job for us. But also, there's a lot when you talk about rural communities. Be patient and understand that they are out working and often long hours.
Beyond,
So
I think they grab a sandwich and go to grab a sandwich, put it in their car or their truck or whatever, and then maybe a cup of coffee and go to it. And I think there's a method to their madness. They're the experts. Let them do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
do what they do.
I agree. That is not the time to be an armchair quarterback.
No, absolutely not. All right, Brad, speaking of that, here are some underestimated skills that people underestimate because they think anybody can do that. But they actually require a lot of skill.
Okay.
This has Brad and Becky written all over it.
There you go.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1, driving. Everything about it, defensive driving, maneuvering in traffic, having a feel for how big your vehicle is, being predictable, and parking. But a lot of people are not real good at that.
That's true. Right. And the ones that are not real good at that normally either drive in front of me or park next to me. We'll work on it. It's.
I know. But it actually does require skill.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I just want to say, I'm kind of good at that. I think it's because I grew up with, and I'm not, this is not bragging.
Right.
This is just, you know what I mean? I had go-karts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like, and I think horses, I think, learning driving, I mean, I know that's different horses, but you're learning maneuvers, you know what I mean? Can I do a derby? Can I weave? No.
Yeah.
I won't touch that.
Right.
But in interstate, I can weave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think a lot of that translates to reading the road in front of you.
Absolutely.
That's like reading the field of horses, reading, all that stuff.
Do you feel pretty good at that? Because you did tractors.
Tractors, grain trucks, trucks. I mean, I learned how to drive at an early age on a stick shift.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And so it is. Driving a grain truck is different from driving your Subaru Brat.
Yeah.
You got to understand things.
Now, I can do the stick, but I'm going to burn your clutch up, okay? Okay. I tell you, anytime somebody says, can you drive? Yeah, I can drive. But I'll tell you right now, I'm going to burn the... Yeah. There's some more... Wait, I got to watch my words. Yeah. I'm going to burn your clutch up, okay?
Yeah. Well,
It's just it. It's the nature of the beast. It's going to happen.
Well, my papa, who people know how much I thought of him and still do, and I think the thing was he would always be like, you burn out a clutch, you're working to pay for it. So I learned very early how not to be rough on a clutch.
I would still be in debt. I'd still be, talk about a college loan. I'd still
There you go. That would be the debt, right?
I still owe Peppa. Still be, to your family, I'd be making payments. That's horrible. I'm honest about it, okay? I mean, it is what it is. Okay, number 2, these are things that a lot of times people don't realize, like, but they actually require a lot of skill. I think after COVID, we all realize substitute teaching.
Oh.
Those substitute teachers.
Oh.
Talk about pull it out of your back
Rock
end.
stars. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like getting there and
skill,
well,
yeah.
I mean, one could be teaching math one day, the next day they're doing English, they're doing gym. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
You talk about diversity. What hat are you wearing today? Substitute teachers. Never knowing, it's like going into the battlefield. You don't know what you're going into.
Doing the Lord's work right there. I'm telling you. I'm serious. And I'm not,
I tell my girls, what are you doing today? I'm doing the Lord's work.
But think about it. I mean, that's like, because
never knowing what you're going to get into.
You don't know what in your skills satchel that you're going to have to pull out that day.
Absolutely
So I agree with that. I
No.
agree with that.
No.
I could not do it.
I could do it. Because it would be, hang on, I'm not making light of it, but it would be very interesting.
Well, I agree with that. You could do that way before I could do that.
Because I think, I'm used to not going on the same pattern.
My coping mechanism is that HR guy comes out. Is that really the words we want to? I mean, I would be that substitute teacher that I would get kick me put on the back of my Sure. I'd be funny though.
I know.
I'd make them laugh.
Oh, I think you'd be fun.
I would not be successful.
I think they would
because
enjoy you.
They would enjoy it, but we wouldn't learn a lot.
Well, my scare would be,
I would truly just be a placeholder.
Teachers leave notes for you.
Yeah.
And did I check all those boxes? Maybe not.
It's kind of notes, teleprompters.
Got 3 out of the 10. You know what I mean?
I mean.
You know what I mean? What's my odds? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, but I do think you'd have to have special skills. So yeah, I agree with that. Okay, number 3, home cooking and creating new recipes.
Oh.
I agree completely. I agree.
I agree 100%. Jeannie.
Masterpiece.
Yeah.
She's probably got something right now in her
But you
kitchen.
think about something too. It takes skill. If you're the only one cooking, and you've been in this situation thousands of times, I've been in the same situation, to time everything to where it's on the table all at the same time, and you're not like eating the cream corn and then the pork chops come, and you know what I mean? I mean that is skill. So I will.
Well, and I was so happy. My daughter, one of my daughters was talking the other day, and of course, they would be doing their stuff, throughout the house, scattered. And when I would say, time to eat, no, I was like, I was serious. This is when Mom's not playing, because I've got the hot food. It's like, remember at McDonald's with their French fries. They don't play around. They want hot fries, okay?
Yeah. And some butts in the seats right now.
And it was funny because when they heard that, you know what I mean? And I did have a dinner bell, too. I had my old-fashioned dinner bell. And I'm telling you right now, I was all about it. And you would see them flying from all different angles of the household. Because, you know what I mean? They'd come from every room flying to be in those
flying
seats.
in like those jaybirds, just swooping right in.
Knocking each other down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See, that's good.
No, I
that's
had
good.
them trained. I'm
that's
sorry.
Good. Yeah.
Because I had that fear, Brad, because when I put it on the table and I did everything, and it was all, you know what I mean? I had everything, you know what I mean, designed.
That's skill.
It was all in design. It was everything, you know what I mean, at their convenience. Then I've done my part. I've laid out the, the map. The map is on the table. You better get in.
Well, and like I said, that is skill. I mean, that is hard. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of skill to do that. The thing about creating new recipes, I have people that I love very dearly, but one of their things that they always say is, and this is true, and I'll totally admit this, but every time I make chili, it's like I'm making up a new recipe.
Oh, me too.
Because I use what I've got that goes with chili.
Yeah. Well, so is my potato soup. Sometimes it's crazy though, because my potato soup can be horrible, and then like a week later you start craving it.
Well, I'm not gonna say
And
my
I
chili's
think-
horrible, but
no, what I'm saying
but yeah,
is
yeah,
it like not
yeah,
your best?
Yeah,
But then a week later you start craving that not your
yeah.
best.
You're like,
Yeah. Well, I made vegetable beef soup. No, I never do a recipe. If you ask me, no way.
oh,
And it's never going to be the same.
it's never gonna be the same.
You know what
I mean, it's got same ingredients, and sometimes
What do you
like
think? Because
sometimes I've got peppers in my chili, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I got hot, chili beans, and sometimes I just have used chili powder and kidney beans. Whatever.
What do you think is because we use what we have?
Yes,
I think that's
and I
it.
get that.
I think
from,
we were raised like
we
that.
Were
We were raised like that.
Yeah.
Whatever you have in the kitchen, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And you can, as long
Well,
as
you're
you
gonna
have the
have-
3 basic ingredients, you can make
I agree.
it taste like chili.
I don't remember the story of the like stone soup.
Stone soup.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
absolutely.
Yeah, as long as you get those. Yeah, because my potato soup, my chili, or my vegetable beef soup is never going to be the same.
I'm with you on that.
And sometimes it's going to be kind of, but you'll crave it.
Oh, but
It's like Pluto water.
I will tell you, sometimes my chili is really spicy, and sometimes it's not as spicy.
And remember we went through some time when people had trouble. Like I know those potatoes. It was something. Our potatoes were just not wanting to get soft.
Oh.
Remember we had harder potatoes for a little. Remember that little phase. Everybody, I don't care where you.
I think people were growing them to where they just would not cook down. It was
I don't
always
know.
a crunchy
No, I mean I was
potato.
like cooking those things.
Yeah.
I was beating those things, trying to make mashed potatoes out of them. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
And they
I was
still
on the
had little
countertop.
pebbles.
I was on the countertop. You know, what's the meat beater? I had meat beaters beating my potatoes, saying you've got to be. So
Yes.
we went through a phase.
Yeah.
We're over that, thank God.
Yeah, the tenderizer
Thank
would
you,
not
Jesus.
tenderize
Thank
the
you,
potatoes.
Jesus.
I know. Haven't we suffered enough? When your mashed potatoes come out like you're chewing gravel, and you've tried,
Haven't we
there's
suffered
some,
enough?
Haven't we
I
suffered
agree.
enough? Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a phase. I'm telling
Yes.
you, I was buying groceries. I was buying all
So
different
when you
kinds
were
of potatoes.
trying to do that,
Every potato.
you were doing the Lord's work.
I was doing the Lord's work, trying to make some soft
Yeah.
mashed potatoes. Thank goodness we didn't need dental work. Well, afterwards we did.
Well, the ones who got the insurance card for. So, in all seriousness, though, that is true, and some people add turnips to mashed potatoes.
That was
to
the
give
summer
that
of
peppery.
'69. That was the
They give-
summer. Actually, it was the summer of what was it? 2018, I think, 19.
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna
That's
make,
what
I'll
started
make
the
a
COVID
song about it.
pandemic, you know. But anyway, so that's where the
Yeah.
mentions were of those dang potatoes. But anyway, I said dang. People add turnips to mashed potatoes to give that peppery taste to
I
them.
forget about that. I love that.
But the thing about that was, if you tried to do that, it's sad. You know, there's a problem when your turnip gets softer than your potato.
It was a horrible time.
Yeah,
I
so
mean, those are
that's
like
my-
a,
that's
it's like
my-
a locust.
That's my root
was
vegetable
like-
trivia for the day.
I'm telling you, that was like bad
We
memories.
got skills. See, we got
No,
skills.
it was
we
because
do.
because
We do.
here's the thing, okay? I mean, you try to blame it on the potato. People, no, my family did not believe me. I'm telling you.
And that's when you go, okay, so here you go. Here's some potatoes. You do better.
And I had boiled for hours. You know what I mean? I steamed my face. I steamed my hair.
I will have to say, in all transparency, that's when I went to the already made Bob Evans mashed potatoes. You put in the microwave. They were
Okay,
better.
see, you're so good
So
at that. But see, my group, well,
well,
my group, no,
Yeah.
they had to have no.
well,
They wanted to. They would check for the pills. They had
Yeah.
to see the pills.
I'd be like,
Where is the peelings?
hey diva, next time.
I know.
Do you want gravel potatoes or do you want mashed potatoes?
I know, because somehow Bob Evans had it in.
Yeah.
He had it going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, here we go. Making a sandwich. Oh, my goodness. Go to Friends. The Ross sandwich.
Mm.
Remember when Monica made that perfect sandwich for Ross? It is a skill making a sandwich. I'm telling you.
So,
Skills.
so there is a skill. So I know someone that will meticulously make the best grilled cheese that you've ever had in your life.
I'm totally gonna take you up on
Like putting it
I
out
want
to
one.
the end
I
of the
want
thing. I mean,
I want
it's
one.
just like, and even better, a grilled ham and cheese
Get out.
sandwich. Okay.
I'm in.
So you do spicy mustard, you do the pickles, you do all of it. Okay.
I'm in.
But that same person struggles on making a basic peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And here's the problem. Now, wait a minute. Stay with me here. The skill of a peanut butter
Oh, I
and
love
jelly
this.
sandwich
Love
is
this.
that it's rustic. If you try to spread the jelly too evenly, that's where you're making a mistake.
Love that.
So you put the peanut butter on the one side, and you have the valleys, and it's like waves on there, so it's not a perfectly smooth, flat surface with the peanut butter. Then the other side, you take the jelly, and you've got spots that have thicker jelly, and you don't worry about going all the way to the end, because when you put the sandwich together, it will go, and you've got the peanut butter that will go to the end. So you're good. So when you try too hard when you can make a 12 out of 10 grilled cheese, don't apply those same skills to a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah.
The more rustic and the more uneven and imperfect is the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I agree.
Just a little skill there.
I agree completely. Yes, let it go. The only thing I love, I like to make them. The only thing is someone that I know. We're not naming names.
Yeah.
When you look in the peanut butter or the jelly and you see crumbs,
Oh, no.
you know what I mean? No, I have the butter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because of
Yeah.
going to make buttered toast.
Yeah.
The butter in the butter.
Yeah.
I
No, I'm with you on that. But it is funny, this, just like, you get that comment, it's just like, well, that looks terrible, but will you make me one? Because I can't make them.
absolutely.
Absolutely. I don't like looking in the peanut butter and seeing the jelly that's in the peanut butter, because they decided they were going to use. And why do you use a knife for the peanut butter and a spoon for the jelly?
Look, get it, tell it, preach it.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Sorry.
Making a sandwich, but it is true.
Yeah.
These are
Even
skills.
any type of sandwich.
What we're doing again is, that they really do. They really do. Require a lot of skill.
Mm-hmm.
Making a sandwich. Okay, starting and running a business.
Yes. Skills that you didn't know you would ever need, you find and have to have.
It's true. It's so true. And your whole day.
Yeah.
There's so much.
And I've often heard, and this is just from people that, have started businesses, that every day starting a business was good for them because it got them out of their comfort zone and their box, where they normally like to stay every single day, because you have to do things that you didn't know you were going to have to do.
Absolutely.
Deal with situations you didn't know, and use skills that maybe you didn't know you had or you need to practice on. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. Number 6, fast food registered worker, and even more so, the drive-through. Someone said, have you ever been served by somebody who is actually good at it? It's a good thing.
I will tell
agree.
you and I both have this same opinion about, the drive-through people are rock stars.
They
I
are.
couldn't do it. I mean, I could,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't be successful at it, because we'd be like, hey, let's go, and all that. But I will never complain even in a restaurant. I don't complain about service issues, or if there's something going on. First of all, that person at the window, 99% of the time, it's not their issue, their fault, or whatever. The only time I will get upset with, especially a drive-through person, is if it's an attitude thing, and it's not. And I'm really forgiving on stuff. I'll wait, I'll pull up, and my food fresh. Hey, long as those fries are
hot and good.
giving those fries,
I'm
down. I'm good. But when they're just like, but I will have to say that is hard to, probably from an HR perspective, it's probably hard, because not every person has the skills to be successful at a drive-through thing.
I agree.
I would not be one of those people. I would not be one of those people to, work in food service, just because I wouldn't. Not that there's anything. It's a great thing to do, but I don't have those skills.
Well, I think too. This day and age, this is just a blanket statement. I think it's been hard to find people to work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And sometimes people have been put in positions that maybe there's not their strongest position to be in.
Yes.
And maybe
that
after
may mean whether the restaurant is open that day or
yeah, and maybe they will develop it,
Yes. Yes.
but give them time.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it's almost like the,
Yeah.
give the butterfly time to fly,
Yeah.
to fly.
Give them grace.
Yeah, exactly. So I think
That's why I don't complain, because I'm about anything. If I know that I don't have those skills to do it, or it would take the learning curve would be give them grace.
I think so. I think that's in everything. I think it's in any job we're talking about.
Yeah.
So I, at the drive-thru at McDonald's, though, when they opened up the second drive-thru, our community, it was so funny watching everyone learn something new.
Yeah.
It's so funny whenever we have to learn a new skill.
You would go and be like, "Well, I'm going to drive around 5 cars because I'm going to the second lane."
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And it's funny but then when they would say to me, "Drive around, Becky," so I finally, I think that's really personal. And then, so I said, "Do you catch my voice? Is it my voice every time?" And they said, "No, we've got a mirror. We can see." We have a mirror, Becky.
We have tools to do our job, and one of them's a mirror. At that moment, it's just like, oh.
I saw behind the curtain, the magic behind the curtain.
I turned the table over.
I know.
Just forget it. But for that moment.
I was thinking, one moment in time, when I'm more than I thought I could be.
Yeah.
I knew
At least it wasn't like one of those that you have a reputation that they're like, "Oh my gosh, Brad's in the drive-thru again, run!"
Somebody take this one, please.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I love it. I think it's very,
Absolutely.
And I give them all, I think we do. Everybody, just always, in any line of work. Let's talk about a cash register over here at Walmart.
Rock stars.
They are. They are
stars.
fantastic. And they are fun, too.
And they are.
I don't go to self-checkout because I want to see your people. I love the people. I love the people.
Even I do that, too. But they look at me a little differently because they're just like, "Oh, God, why is Brad coming through my line?" Because I want to talk to somebody.
Brad shops too.
Yeah.
Brad eats too.
Yeah, it's like, I just want to talk. I like
I would love to.
Interaction.
When you buy your underwear.
Buy that out of town. I special order that.
Brad wears, that'd be in the break room. What kind of underwear? No, okay, you know what's funny?
My leopard thong is my business.
Okay, that's what
all
goes
I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I don't do
We
that.
know
really,
the truth.
but I
We know
mean,
the truth. No, that's what would be in my mind thought. But they don't care. They're not even paying attention.
No,
They're not paying attention. They don't care
No.
what kind of, if you wear crew socks or bobby socks or.
They're just, and most of the time, they're just making sure they're scanning that barcode,
Yeah.
and they just pay attention to put stuff together. But
If you wear bloomers, they don't care. Yeah.
Don't care the size, nothing. Don't care.
They don't care.
I mean,
Yeah, they really don't. No.
the hot pink thongs do get a notice.
A little bit of.
Other than that,
Well, they just want to know how you found them in. Where'd you find these? We have these. Where do we
have these?
We got these. Yeah, you do.
LA3.
So true. Okay, number 7, for being able to give good instructions. I am good at that. I had an aunt. My aunt said, "You should be a tour guide." I am good at instructions.
Yes,
High five across
I will agree with that.
I am good at little stupid things that I can do, but I can give
100%.
instructions.
Yes. You can. I agree with that. I can too, but
I think you can.
there's times though that yes, I can too. There's times that I struggle with that, but that's a me thing. That's not based on them not getting my instructions. There's times that I go, that wasn't the best way I could have done that, and then I try to fix it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you're just like, don't try to add too much to instructions.
Right. I tend to use my body and my hands.
That's
You're going to get all of me.
Yeah.
Why not take
Absolutely.
all of me?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's just like, yes, there might be a plane land.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And the emergency exits are on either side. No, I mean.
But you are going to get there.
Yes.
I'm going to make sure you get there.
Absolutely.
Yes. I remember whenever we had all of our construction, which was good
Mhm.
in our community. I remember getting stopped all the time by people, and I felt like I should have had a little booth. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Remember how Lucy had the kissing booth?
Oh, yeah.
I should have had the instruction booth.
Yeah.
And I can give instructions. I can get you where you need to be.
Yes.
I think it's because I have fun. I like to pretend like I am actually
You do the combination of the flight attendant
I like to be
and Disney World point because
Get
you
out,
use
you
two
know it.
fingers
Oh.
and not one, and you do that combination. Yes,
I like
absolutely.
to pretend like I'm that
You
person.
could write the manual on that.
Because I think I think I've always wanted to do that. I want to be that person. Right.
That is a pretty good gig.
The whole outfit. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, being able. Okay. Anything that we gotta hurry. Anything that involves dealing with a random bunch of people. That's you. You're good at that.
I heard cats. That's
I
a
know you
skill.
do.
That's
You
a
do.
skill.
Dancing. Oh, we are both good dancers. We know that. Singing. They ask us all the time
All
to
the
sing.
time.
Yeah. You ask me here and you make
Yeah.
me sing.
Yeah.
Remember her? Kristen.
Yeah.
Kristen. What is it? Remember Kristen? She's on Saturday Night Live. You bring me here and you make
Wig.
me sing. Wig. Yeah. Love her. Public speaking. We both do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is a skill.
Anybody that'll listen to us. That's why we love public
If we have 3 people gathered, we
a
think they're there
captive
to listen
audience
to us.
on there.
But it is, public speaking is a skill, and you got to practice it. That's
I agree.
you got to practice.
Let's see here. Photography. I agree. Yeah, it is
Yeah,
a skill.
I don't have that.
I feel pretty good at it. I have to do it all the time. Casual sports.
Yeah.
Hacky sack.
Oh. It does take skill, but that's a
Not
skill
there.
that
I
that's a skill
you
that I
good?
don't have.
I don't
and
either, yeah.
I don't
I
necessarily practice enough.
I always say this. Sometimes it's okay if I don't win at that. I don't have to win. I'll watch you.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
clap you on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sing for
I
it.
can be a spectator
That's
for that.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Love
That is, to me, hacky sack is a spectator sport. I'm the
Well,
spectator.
you have the spectator, you have the commentator, you have the imitator, you have.
Potator.
Right? You have all kinds of taters. Just don't have a hard tater. All right, Brad, we got to get out of here.
Or an agitator.
Love that. Got those two.
So I think the takeaways for today are doing God's work
That's us. Right here.
and
Not sick.
not sick.
Not sick.
Not sick.
But
And skills. We've got skill sets.
little pride.
But think about something,
Yeah.
though. If you take one person and they often say, this is my skill set, I think they pay attention more to the ones that they feel the most comfortable with.
Trust.
They may have excellent
Yeah.
skill sets in other things and don't do it as much, and they kind of don't focus on that.
Well, that's why I work my tail end off to make sure that I hit the weather. Try to hit the weather right because you want accountability, and and that's what I really try to do.
You better listen up. Hear what we say. 'Cause I'm here to tell you. You gotta find a way. Yeah.
Broadcasting from the real world, The Rick Burgess Show.
That's right. Coming to you from the real world. Look, come on in. We got a lot to do going forward on the show today. If you missed any of the show today, go back and catch it on the daily archives, either on the YouTube channel or the podcast channel.